Hello and thank you for joining us on World Now. Judicial authorities in South Sudan say the country's first Vice President Riek Machar is to face charges of treason and other serious crimes. This is amid growing fear that the East African country could be edging towards a return to civil war. In addition to treason, Sudan's first Vice President and 7 others face charges of murder, conspiracy, terrorism, destruction of public property, a military asset, and crimes against humanity. The charges stem from a violent incident in March when a militia known as the White Army overran a garrison of government troops, killing its commanding officer and others. In a statement, the Justice Ministry says the attack in the Upper Nile state of Nasir was influenced by Mr. Machar and others through alleged coordinated military and political structure. Riek has been under house arrest since March after South Sudan's transitional government, of which he is a part, accused him of subversive activities against the president, Salva Kiir. And for a look into this disturbing security challenge in South Sudan, I'm joined by global affairs analyst Dr. Patrick Coker. It's good to have you join us at this time. The vice president is not only facing treason charges, but is also serving as South Sudan's first vice president under this unity arrangement. How do these charges affect the legitimacy and stability of this transitional government in Sudan?
Thank you very much. Many have described this situation as disturbing and a critical moment, which is quite profound for the peace process. And I must say that looking at the trends, the global community or the international community have made quite numerous efforts to make sure that the peace process is not destabilized. In August, the AU Peace and Security Chair for August visited South Sudan without any serious progress on the release of detained leaders. Actually, he was told that the situation of the strange vice president is not about politics or political, but it is criminal. So this is quite a serious situation that will affect millions of civilians, as it were.
Dr. Coker, South Sudan is barely recovering from years of civil war. We still see the ashes from some of the incidents that happened there, and the 2018 peace deal still remains fragile. To what extent would you say prosecuting the vice president at this time will derail the peace process?
It is neither here nor there. However, most of the parties that are helping to resolve the conflict have approached the softly approach towards any judicial aspect of the conflict. Actually, in the peace agreement, there's a recommendation that there should be a hybrid court to try whoever is found wanting. So the local approach or the domestic approach to justice is being discouraged for a number of reasons. One, it could be there could be mistrust. There could be issues of transparency, and as it were, an ethnicity is coming in because the current president is from the Dinka tribe, while Riek Machar is from the Noah tribe. So all these would tend towards the fact that a legal approach to solving the problem might really not provide a good solution. Rather, it could escalate the conflict.
Let's talk about the political division between the president and the first vice president in this case, which critics have argued that such charges may be politically motivated and designed to weaken his influence ahead of these transition plans. But from your own perspective, how do we distinguish between a pursuit of accountability and the use of justice system as a political weapon?
Well, from experience in Sierra Leone and Liberia, there can be no peace without justice. And this is one argument some have promoted, and we've seen the result from such moves in Sierra Leone and Liberia. However, these courts in these two countries were not locally engineered. So it is anyone that has committed war crimes should go through the justice process. However, can a domestic body that is part of the conflict, marshal or champion such a process? So my take is that we must be very cautious. The international community must step up, and indeed some measures such as, because there can be no war when you don't have the implements to do it. So efforts must be made to make sure that all the parties go back to the table and a more cautious approach is pursued, especially from the government of the day in South Sudan.
Let's take some more time on this approach. I mean, the role of international community in this, because this crisis in South Sudan is one that, has had regional consequences, drawing in neighbors and international actors. What exactly should the international community be doing to, balance the calls for justice that we see in South Sudan today?
I strongly believe that rather than coming with the humanitarian aid and protection of civilians, which are very, very important. We have over 4.3 million Sudanese, both internally and externally displaced. About 2.3 million are out of the country because of the crisis, and 2 million, internally displaced. The means to the ability to wage war must be used as a measure to stop all parties from continuing. Now, secondly, leaders must be brought to the table and told in firm terms that they cannot continue to take decisions that impact humanity. People are dying. So the international community must step up. Yeah, we've had resolutions. AU has made efforts. The UN is present in the form of a peacekeeping mission, the largest in the world as I speak, or thereabout. But more measures must be taken, especially with the leaders, to stop this approach to solving political issue that is really taking the lives of people.
We're still waiting out to see what measures will be put in place, as the war has been on for a while. Some persons are still trying to pick up the pieces. But thank you for talking to us at this time. Global Affairs Analyst, Dr. Patrick Uka. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.